Hello everyone, it's Jamal Thomas. Welcome to the Progressive Soapbox. Hope everyone is doing okay today. Let me check my sound. While I check my sound, if you enjoy the content, please feel free to share, like, subscribe. You help the show by doing all of that. And if you're so kind and you wish to help the show further, you can always support through Patreon, or in this case, Super Chat also helps. So, in the New York, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is running in the race. She's a newcomer to politics, 28-year-old fireball. She's awesome. She's running against Joseph Crowley. I have a picture of Joseph Crowley up here, but Joseph Crowley, when I tried to put the picture up, didn't show. So I just kind of went with it. In addition to not showing for the picture that's supposed to be up here, I guess it's supposed to be on the side, Joe Crowley didn't show up for debate with Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. He did not give her the courtesy of the debate, even though the debate was scheduled. He was in the area. He just wasn't in the area of the debate. The New York Times incinerated him for this, went after him, essentially making the point that if you're taking advantage of your constituency, maybe that constituency should leave you be. It's essentially saying if you take advantage of them, they may find it better to put somebody else in that office. Yes, somebody may have to quote unquote go against Trump, but that person doesn't necessarily have to be you. I think that's right. I think that's more right than not. I congratulated the New York Times on that piece because it was a damn good article. Despite not being able to get to the debate, he has been able to throw himself into the arms of a Republican lobbying firm, Democrat Joe Crowley, invisible man Joe Crowley, at least from the standpoint of the debate. But if you're giving Joe Crowley hard cash, then Joe Crowley would definitely show up every time. Joe Crowley has shown up to GOP lobbying firm for cash. Give me cash. The other day he was rubbing himself in Ro Khanna. Today he's rubbing himself in cold hard cash. He's like, oh, I got all this Ro on me. Just give me the cash. Give me the cash. Ugh. Oh, the sweet, sweet green cash. I love it. Helps me win elections. House Democratic Caucus Joe Crowley, or Chair Joe Crowley, is raising last-minute campaign cash from a corporate lobbying firm famous for its ties to the Republican Party. Faced with a surprisingly strong challenge from a progressive first-time candidate, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, in New York's Democratic primary, Crowley, the fourth-ranking House Democrat, is slated to appear at the office of BGR Group on 13th Street in Washington, D.C. on Wednesday afternoon for a fundraising reception, according to a copy of an invitation obtained by The Intercept. The invitation lists Crowley's position in leadership of the Democratic Party and as a member of the powerful Ways and Means Committee, which oversees tax policy. Ooh, I bet they like that. The fundraiser, which asks for $500 minimum to attend as an individual and $1,000 to attend as a political action committee, is an odd venue for a Democrat who claims to be an avowed opponent of the GOP. What do you say? You don't say. You don't say. BGR is named for its foundation partners, all of whom are Republican. Haley Barbour, the former Republican National Committee Chair, Ed Rogers, former aide to Ronald Reagan, Lanny Griffin, a former education official in George H.W. Bush's administration. The firm boasts a high-profile list of clients, many of whom face contentious issues on Capitol Hill. BGR Group represents defense giants Raytheon, Huntington, Ingalls, and United Technologies on procurement. Pharmaceutical firms such as Eli Lilly and Company retain BGR Group explicitly to stave off the threat of lowering drug prices, according to lobbying disclosures. Cardinal Health, which is facing lawsuits across the country for its role in fueling the opioid epidemic by supplying known pill mill pharmacies, hired BGR Group on pending legislation dealing with the pharmaceutical product distribution. Other firms facing increasing scrutiny, including Amazon, Verizon, and Chevron, are also BGR clients. Understand what's being said here. This group, this corporation, or lobbying firm if you want to call it, interacts with politicians. They're given money by corporations in order to get those corporations, in order to get the politicians to not do something. I'm always amazed by that. The interest of the public matters less. These firms are paying. I just find that amazing. It's like these companies say, look, we don't like this particular legislation, so we're going to pay this company to go and get that legislation nixed or watered down. I have this schoolboy philosophy of the government working in the interests of the public. This flies in the face of that. Meaning, if people believe that these guys are working in the interests of the public, who in this place is the public? Amazon, the pill mills? Which one is representation or representative of the public itself? Just saying. Let's keep going. BGR also boasts a roster of foreign-based clients. The company represents several foreign governments, including Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, which is known for hiring Washington influence peddler firms and seeks support for its brutal war it's waging in Yemen. BGR also represents two companies controlled by Russian billionaire. The Ruskies, Mikhail Friedman, Alpha Bank, and Letter One Holdings. The FBI is reportedly scrutinizing suspicious communications between the Trump Organization and Alpha Bank's computer servers during the presidential campaign. Why is Joe Crowley interacting with a Republican lobbying firm? And when he's interacting with that Republican lobbying firm, when people are paying money to get into this place, why do you think they're paying money to get into this place to talk to Joe Crowley? Do you think they're paying $500 or $1,000 to talk to Joe Crowley just because they think he's a nice guy? Or do you think that money is an investment in order to get into the room, shake his hand, look him in the eye, make sure he knows your name, and at some point, maybe some piece of legislation, just the push, just the nudge? It's a lobbying firm. The whole point in this firm is to get certain legislation passed for the people who are giving them money. That's the point. None of this, democracy stuff. This is everything to do with influence peddling. They're given a bunch of money and they lobby to get things changed, whether they're in the public interest or not. I'm asking, what is Joe Crowley doing with all of this corporate interest that is not necessarily in the interest of the public? And yet he's having a meeting with this company. Between the people who you think are going to represent your interests in New York, do you think it's the guy who's going to a Republican lobbying firm? Or do you think it's the woman who's literally trying to change how politics is done in New York? Jobs, employment, federal jobs guarantee, Medicare for all. She wants to destroy ICE. It's a fundamental difference between who she is versus who he is. She's not taking money from corporate sources, and he is literally in a lobbying, going to a Republican lobbying firm that has clients ranging from Amazon, who just busted up, literally attacked the state government of Seattle in order to get them to repeal a tax that they were going to use to pay for the homeless. This is who you ran to. Couldn't show up for a debate, but is there with the Republican lobbying firm for cold, hard cash. I'm not going to keep this long. I want to keep this short. But this is The Intercept. I'm going to put the rest of the article at the bottom. You all can read it for yourself. Oh, here's a good one. I got to read this one. But the firm continues to be an outspoken voice within the GOP, Rogers, BGR Group chair, pens a regular column for the Washington Post. In a column last month, he scorned Democrats for capitulating to the shallow-minded embrace of socialism embodied by progressives such as Senator Bernie Sanders. BGR Group, through a spokesman, declined to comment on why they were hosting Crowley on Wednesday. Crowley's office did not respond to a request for comment. I bet he didn't. Respond to a request for comment. $500. Does that include the knee pads? You mean for Crowley? Each one have their knee pads and they give the Crowley? I don't know. I was thinking of jokes involving knee pads, but you beat me to it. City of Government, Washington, but this Washington is a corporate state. Yes. And by the way, even though Amazon attacked Seattle and Seattle ends up changing their laws, the state itself was prepared to act in order to crush what was taking place at the local level. It's amazing. But still, it's kind of besides the point. Why is Invisible Man Joe Crowley going to a lobbying firm in order to get a bunch of money? And who is he getting this money from? And what favors will be expected of him when he gives this money? Meaning, who is he going to be there to represent? He's with a lobbying firm with people lobbying him and talking to him, paying $500 or $1,000 a head. That's funny. In this political context, it's ironic. Who is he going to represent? The person who's paying them, or you? She, on the other hand, is not taking money from corporate sources. She's taking money from you. And she's trying to win this using and based on you. Meaning her power base, the people who give her cash, it's just the public. This guy's going to a lobbying firm. Democrat, by the way. Invisible Man. Alright, Lori Glenn. Yeah, she is awesome. I like her a lot. I watched that debate. Man, she beat the stuffing out of him in that debate. Did you see that? She hit him remorselessly. I just have this image in my head of her jumping off the debate stage and clawing his eyes out, like just punching him over and over again. Because that's, for the most part, would be an effective euphemism to get across 1% of the beating that he took. She ate him alive. So yeah. It was a thing of beauty. Yes, Lord, it was a thing of beauty. Off topic, I know, but a nudge for Vanessa and Kevork's segment, Gordon's petition in the UK to stop the White Helmets funding would be great. Yeah, they came to the United States. Donald Trump said they were stopping the funding, and ultimately that was more of a ruse. The funding ended up coming from Turkey, Qatar, some of the other governments, and if I'm not mistaken, the US has restarted funding for the White Helmets. And yeah, the UK is also funding the White Helmets. Bailey made the point of saying she thinks another chemical attack is coming. Russia has warned that another chemical attack is coming. And if that takes place, oh my God, they're not going to allow an attack, or a main attack, that would take Assad out of his seat. Russia's not going to allow it. They are tumbling us into catastrophe. They really are. So, alright, I'm going to end this here. I have another one coming up after this, but I want this one to be short, compact, to the point. Alright guys, if you enjoy the content, please feel free to share, like, subscribe, and of course, you can always support through Patreon. Thanks everyone. And